Alright guys, so this is another, like, who would train video. I thought these are kind of fun, and when I think of something really good, I'm like, ooh, I want to do that. That looks like a lot of fun. Let me do that. And here we are once again. And this time around, we're going to have a fun one, because this is, as you can see from the title, what if Catwoman trained Black Cuervo? As you guys know, Black Cuervo from, El Tigre. I've been kind of on an El Tigre kick for a little bit. And I was just like, I was literally like, I haven't done anything with El Tigre in a bit. So I was like, you know what, I will come back with this as a video. I will do this as a video. So what would it be like if Selina Kyle took Zoe Alves under her wing? That's basically what this scenario is. First and foremost, you may be thinking, well, it's kind of a weird pairing, you know, cat theme and bird theme. I think that's kind of adds to the fun. Now, you also may be thinking, well, hang on, doesn't Zoe have, like, teachers? She has her grandmother and mother, Lady Gobbler and Vultura. Why does she need Selina Kyle? Why do you, why, Multi? Why do you think she needs Selina as a teacher, as a mentor? Because it's very obvious, it is incredibly obvious from the few episodes we see of the Flock of Fury that, the Flock of Fury is kind of brutal to their own children, to their own generations. Whether that be generational trauma and whatnot, they're not exactly, like, nice to one another. So, yeah, I think Selina would have a more open hand than a closed fist kind of way of teaching. How I kind of imagine them meeting is that Catwoman is just kind of like breaking into a jewelry department or a jewelry store. Then in comes Black Cuervo, just kind of smashing her way through, blasting security, and then getting out. And then Selina's just like, "Have you ever heard of the word tact? No? Come here, kid." Like, that would be how it would go, is that Selina would just, like, tail Zoe after, you know, she took the diamonds and ran. And then not only steal them back, but also tail her all the way back to their hideout and be like, do you know what your problem is? You're too loud. With all that tech, you'd think you'd have I figured you'd have a little more self-control. So that's how I kind of see it, is that Selina would be like, "Oh, you poor little urchin, come here. Let me take you under my wing." And that's kind of what it would be, is that Selina would more or less teach Zoe how to, A, be a lot more quieter, B, learn how to trust her instincts more than her tech. That's another thing that we see with the with Black Cuervo and the rest of the Flock of Fury, is that they're very dependent on their armors. They're very dependent on their suits, their tech, and not really much else. But then again, when you're picking up a whole ass bank over your head, why would you? But I think Selina would kind of point out that, like, what happens if you run into, like, some security group or superhero that can disable your armor? Like, what's going to happen when when you do that? You're not going to have, like, a laser cannon to shoot your way out of that, are you? No? Okay. So I think that's how it would go, is that Selina would be like, "Look, kid, you need to rely on stealth and a lack of tech." So I think that would be kind of it, is that Selina would kind of teach her the basics to A, learn how to use her own wits and skill. I think it would also be kind of cool, is that Selina would point out, you depend way too much on this whole smash and grab stuff. You really do depend way too much on smash and grab more than anything else. You need to focus more on way more on the little things, like how sneaking off, appear and disappear, stealth. Those would be the things Selina would impart on Zoe. Is that you would she would throw her out into take her. It'd be like that scene in I think it was Ocean's 11 where they're just, or was it Usual Suspects? I can't remember. But it's just that kind of scene where they're just kind of sitting in the park and I just conned you. or I just conned that person. So it would be something like that where they're out of their costumes and just like Zoe is learning all the little tips and tricks from Selena. Like even she'd be like, I've been talking to you for 5 minutes and I've taken 3 things from you, Zoe. Pay attention. So I kind of feel like that would be something that would go on, is that she would just be like Selena would just be like, pay attention to every word I say. You need to focus on every word. You need to focus on every tone I have. You need to focus on every movement of my body. And you need to, and because you need to not only watch your back, you need to focus on other people around you. When to grab something, when to take something, when not to take something, who to take it from. You have to watch body language every single time. Not only that, like, I think it would be also kind of cool for Selena, because a lot of people forget, Selena is actually an expert martial artist. Like, again, she holds her own against Batman most of the time. Of course she's fucking good. So that'd be another thing, is that, you know, out of the armor, Zoe would probably, like, Selena would teach Zoe several forms of hand-to-hand combat. I could definitely see, like, moments where, like, Zoe is learning, like getting out of her armor, and she's like, why are you teaching me this? I have tech, and then just be immediately on her back, and Selena just planting a heel into her stomach, like, Now, let me ask you, and she'd be like, now let me ask you something, darling. Do you think your tech would help you against that? And she's like, yeah, I mean, like, I have my laser blaster. And she's like, okay, hands her the wrist cannon and be like, okay, try to shoot me. And then immediately her back is, Zoe's back is, arm is behind her back and, like, almost on, like, a breaking point. And she'd be like, ow, ow, shit, okay, you made your point. Fucking stop. Yeah. I think it would also be cool for, like, Selena to teach Zoe how to use, like, less primitive tech, like bolas, a whip, like stealth tech, like actual burglary stuff, rather than, you know, again, depend on her armor. And I really do see that, like, what could be the graduation is steal from Selena and get away from her. Like, that would be the, like Zoe would, like, use all the stuff Selena taught her and steal her everything out of her apartment, and Selena would just be sitting there like, yep, good kid. It'd just be like that. It'd just be a moment where Selena's just kind of sitting in her apartment like, this is a new feeling. Pride in someone else. Unfortunately, it's overshadowed by all this unyielding rage! I had to do that. Anyway, so you guys tell me in the comments below, what do you guys think it would be like if Catwoman trained Black Cuervo? Just comment below, let me know what do you guys think of this, and yeah, hope you all enjoyed this. Other than that, hope you all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.